as I was discussing in the previous day, this elderly people, the aged, whom we call the senior citizens. Okay, so these senior citizens, these elderly people that we have, they used to stay together with the younger ones in the joint families, which is a traditional form of family that is there in India. Indian family, they respect it. Okay, so in spite of several economical and social problems, the younger generations generally looked after the elderly relatives. Now what happened was, lot of nuclear families started growing up. So there is growth of individualistic philosophy that has resulted in the decline of the care towards the elders. All of this gave rise to powerlessness, helplessness, low self-esteem to the senior citizens. Now women, especially widow, they will be living alone. So it's a very poor condition. Now, so what happens? It is very essential that the needs of the elderly are also taken care of. Okay, so because they are no more in a very joint family, they are staying separate. There's no one to take care of. Okay, so now the government of India have formulated national policy of aging in 1999. So it implemented national old age pension, NOAP scheme. Okay, where pension is provided every month to the old people living in these conditions of solitude and destitutions and all those. It also has benefited many people of the Indian society. And old age pension and also the criteria of eligibility and amount of pension given will differ from state to state. Now, working offers is not that parallel opportunity to stretch talents or serve others. Okay, it's not that even only if you work will you be able to serve others, or it doesn't go parallel to each other. So elderly people life can become more meaningful. They have a purpose and satisfaction. So they can go outside their home, and typically most people's primary community, they have a community of the elderly people. Okay, so there are quite various benefits given, and there is a meaningful work to the extent possible. So it is given. Okay, so for the youth to work with and for senior citizen in various spheres, there are generally referred to as intergenerational interaction and activities. So there is intergeneration interaction and activity that takes place. Okay, so the program that are implemented should focus on making senior citizen active and empowered individuals with self-esteem and positive self-image. So they have a positive self-image as well. Now, there are various attitudes and approaches to work, life skills and quality of work life. Okay, so there are various approaches that is there. One is the attitude and approach to work. First, coming to the attitude and approach to work. Attitude towards work is not only about the work or the job itself. Okay, so it is how the individual perceives one's own work situation, how one is able to handle the situations, the demands of the jobs, how they are going to answer the demands of the job. So all these goes ahead with the attitude towards work, whether one likes the work. So an individual experience job satisfaction or dissatisfaction is basically influenced by the attitude. Okay, so if your attitude towards work is good, you will have job satisfaction, otherwise you will not have job satisfaction. For example, if a person compares on the salary he or she gets without taking into account the work responsibilities, the work output, sincerity and dedication. So there always will be a dissatisfaction because the person is not that sincere, is not enjoying the work. So people do spend a lot of time on one's own work, at one's own job. So the possibility of satisfaction and happiness is much greater. The importance of work is established with good health practices such as eating healthy, balanced diet, sleeping well. Everything is very important. That is, relaxation is also very important with the work. So work is a source of energy, fulfillment and learning. Job satisfaction is ensured. So that is assured. Okay, fine. This is what you are happy with the job. On the other hand, some person enjoy their work toward and look forward to challenges. They have a total positive outlook towards their work, and this makes them feel good about their jobs. Yes, this is challenging. This is what can be done. This is something more can be done. Okay, all these things. The career to use their abilities, skills and knowledge contribute to personal happiness and quality of working life of organization. Now, we have already now talked about what is attitude or how do you look forward to work, and now quality of work. Quality of work is basically employees are considered as asset, something good, an asset to the organization. So it is accepted that satisfying the employees' social and psychology needs are very important, as equal to satisfying their economic needs. Okay, so now these will take care the work-based factors such as job and career satisfaction, satisfaction with pay and relationships with work, colleagues, absence of stress at work. So all these things are important. All human beings like to survive. They want to survive well. They want to be happy. Therefore, it is very important, it's very crucial for you to culture the creating of happiness and healthy work environment so that there is no mental stress in the work environment. Such environments will focus on paying adequate attention to the individual employees' needs and expectations in addition to organizational needs, building a positive work climate, motivating individuals, being fair and treating people equally, ensuring facilitating technical competence, trainings and all are given, providing an attractive and safe work environment. Even the walls of the work environment are also taken care of so that there is work satisfaction. Nobody gets bored up. Making job interesting and challenging, matching the person to the task, delegating wherever necessary, fostering team spirits and team responsibilities, developing employees through training, building confidence and various other activities, empowering employees, giving them authority wherever appropriate. So there is a responsibility that is taken up and people feel, okay, fine, good, I am rewarded. Sustained opportunities for self-development. Now, in short, any wise employer or manager recognizes that people are asset and are the ultimate valuable resource. So most valuable resource that an organization gets are their employees. It is important not only to focus on the pay package but also look at the holistic life of the employee. Okay, so there are sometimes some family tours are being done from the organization so they can spend the time together. So all these things are there. So there are play points wherein there are functions if they should function effectively. There are employees, they have got various activities that are being done. Their birthdays are being celebrated, their special occasions, they are being sent a mail or card through. Okay, there are various small enjoyments that they do, so that the work becomes with minimum stress and maximum productivity is there. Next, we talk about life skills for livelihood. Okay, so livelihood is earning money and getting home. That is sustaining yourself. So the World Health Organization thinks that life skills are thinking, coping and social skills, which are the ability which can enhance interaction with the environment. So there are 10 core sets of skills that is there: self-awareness, communication, decision making, creative thinking, coping with emotions, empathy, interpersonal relationship, problem solving, critical thinking and coping with stress. So these are the 10 different core sets that a person needs to have. Self-awareness, one needs to be quite aware of themselves. Communication, one needs to speak or communicate with one another quite effectively. Should be able to take decisions, should think out of the box, should be creative. Coping with emotions, so emotions play no role, so one has to cope up with the emotions and work according to the situation. Empathy, feel for others, the other also might have been in trouble, so that feel the friendly feelings. Interpersonal relationship, how do you have a connectivity with each other? Problem solving, if any issues occur, how do you solve the problem? Critical thinking, you think each and every aspects that can happen. And coping with stress, so whatever stress is there, you try to cope up with the stress and act. These 10 activities which lead to the healthy way and will help you challenge each and every situation at your workplace. So there is a small or a conceptual model that is there. So one has the knowledge, one has the attitude and values. Along with that, a person also needs to have their life skills. Only when they have both of these, they will go into the psychosocial competence and behavior. They will go into the psychosocial competence and behavior. So they will go into the world and they can cope up with any activity and they can be constructive. These will lead to the positive health. They will have job satisfaction, they will be happy, and will prevent any negative behavior. So there will be no negativity that will be there. Now, how do I improve one's work life? One's work life needs to be improved. The quality of work life is very important. So it is very important for the organization to think about it. So first one is to develop healthy personal habits. So there are healthy personal habits that needs to be taken care of. So the body, mind, spirit, eating a healthy diet, exercising, getting enough of sleep, these are very important. Okay. Be empathetic and compassionate. So you have to interact with the peers. You have to talk to them. You have to interact with the supervisors as well as subordinates. Okay. So this will have a positive outcome. Okay. Then all person at work have to remember the interdependence, that everyone is dependent on each other. So they will have to have a positive attitudes towards their peers. There should be a goodwill. There will be a goodwill from the side of the supervisors towards them. And people who help each other will experience satisfaction and reward. The next one is, it is important to maintain loyalty. So loyalty and commitment towards organization is also very important, which is professionally ethical. Next, it encourages partnership and work as a member of the team. So you work with the team, you are a partner with of the reward as well as risk. People who help each other in this way to experience greater satisfaction and reward. So they will work in collaboration and they will share, they will respect and recognize their contributions and achievement. Then it is also, people has to be responsive to situation and not reactive. So they should be responsible, they should be responsive to various situations. They should think, okay, this is my work and whatever risk is taken for this work is mine. But they should not be reactive. They suddenly should not get angry or do anything. If there is any mistake, you may apologize for that. Okay. Flexibility and adaptability and problem solving attitude and skills. So there a person needs to be flexible. Okay. Should be able to change and adapt to any situation. And be a good citizen and create a healthy community around you. So you need to create a healthy community around you. People will follow tips and tend to attract like-minded persons. Okay, we all will like to work with like-minded people. Okay, like-minded folks. They will have the job done while surviving everybody's needs. So here and there is a recognition. Be a good citizen within your organization. So it is important for the job satisfaction. You will learn from lessons of life. From each and every day-to-day challenges that you face, you will keep learning. Okay. Now, how you cope up with the work? How do you manage or balance between your work and life? These cannot be taught in academic lessons. So you need to be competent and you need to work for the same. Okay. So next we are coming to work ethics and dignity of labor. So work ethics, there are few duties that you need to do when you are working. There is a universal declaration of human rights. So there is a universal declaration of human rights which states all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. So every individual will have their share of work, however big or small it is. So it is okay with that. Okay. So there is a dignity of labor which makes them feel pride of what one does. So you should be proud of what one does. There are great people who had been doing very minimal work. Like for example here, Abraham Lincoln. He was a son of a farmer. He even had cleaned the ashram in Wardha. So Mahatma Gandhi was cleaning the ashrams in Wardha. So everyone needs to have a dignity for their work. So it is very necessary for you to remember this. So whatever the person does is driven by the values and ethics. So values are beliefs, what you prefer, what you assume, what is desirable or good for human, that is your value. Okay. So how it is being practiced, so service, all those things are values. And ethics are the formal system. It's a set of rules. Ethics are written. They're a set of rules. Medical ethics, professional ethics. So everything is ethical. How you communicate with others. How you go in for reducing the waste. How you put down your papers. Everything is ethical. So that is ethics. That is according to the rules and regulations. But values are your personal beliefs. Okay. So that is important. And then after that, there is performance, creativity and innovation is one more thing. So performances, how do you accomplish a given task? How do you complete a given task? It not only says completeness, but it also looks looks for the accuracy that you have given, the speed that you have done, and the cost that is incurred. So everything, all these things will say how your performance on that particular job. And creativity, that is motivation. How much you are motivated towards a job. Your creative thinking is about how you are thinking out of the box, how you are just moving around and thinking to get the solution. Resourcefulness is the ability to use available resource material wisely, efficiently, and ingeniously or creatively. Creativity is the able to change the usual and familiar to the new, novel, original, and innovation refers to new ideas. So creativity at work, it can be stimulated by freedom in deciding what to do, the challenge to work hard, then resources that is needed to do the work, encouragement and support from the work teams. Now there are various ways you can enhance creativity, like first-hand experience. First time you're doing something, that is first-hand experience. Playing of games, simulation games, solving puzzles, hobbies. So all this will keep your mind fresh. Hobbies, fine arts, reading, writing, brainstorming. Ask few people the question and you try to get the answers from them. That is brainstorming. Observing and sharpening one's senses, asking questions, thinking and imagining. So all this will enhance creativity. Whereas the barriers of creativity are self-discouragement. Chalo, I cannot do this. Fear of failure. Or if I do this, then it might cause a failure. Criticism. People might laugh at me. Distrusting one's own creative potential. Or this is not my cup of tea, kind of a thing. Lack of perseverance, that continuation is not there. Poor observation, being judgmental about things. Why doesn't he do it? Or why doesn't she do it? Passivity, it is easier to be one of the crowd than only one. Or why should I be separate and go ahead? And restrictive home or school conditions. The conditions are only restricted. So here, there's a good saying, the human mind is like a parachute. It works only when it is open. So open up your mind, think, and you can work. So innovation means you are doing something which is not routine. Next, coming to job satisfaction. Job satisfaction means you are satisfied, you are happy with the job. Okay, so the nature of the relationship of job satisfaction and motivation is not clear. It's not done. So satisfaction is not at all the same as motivation. Job satisfaction is more about attitude, your internal state of association, feeling of achievement. So all these things, whether you're motivated or not, that is a different part. Okay, so now research on job satisfaction shows that a person who is satisfied in the job is confident, feel competent in work and life. So they have this, they are confident, they have recognition, they have variety in their skills. So all these things, they give good contribution, they take up training whenever required, they encourage positive relationship in the workplace. So all these things which helps in obtaining the mission and the vision of the organization, that leads to job satisfaction, and thus this job satisfaction can improve the performance and the productivity of the employee. There is more output, low absenteeism, and the turnover of the employees also increases. Okay, so that is all about job satisfaction. Next, coming to productivity, time management and multitasking. Productivity, what is productivity? Productivity, it is the efficient use of resources, the optimal use of resources efficiently. What are the resources? labor, manpower is one of the resources. Money, land, energy, materials, all these are resources. So how do I have an efficient use of the resources? The money that I am having, how efficiently can I use it? How well can I use it? The land, the energy that I am getting, can I shift the energy from one to another and use for the another? So that instead of getting it from a different thing, so whether the byproducts can be useful. So that is the things. Now for the productivity, there are two main attributes. One is efficiency and other is effectiveness. Efficiency is how effectively resources are utilized, and effectiveness is what is achieved compared to what is possible or what is achieved. So what is the actual outcome that you are getting? So it is obviously said that there is no human activity that does not benefit from enhanced productivity. Thus productivity is nothing but it is relevant to the output, that is a product of the services. Now it is much determined, the productivity is largely determines how competitive a country's product are internationally. How can they place themselves in the competitive world? So they can achieve by facilitating favorable social, political and cultural, educational, motivational work environment. So all these things, so it will help the development of the vicious circle of poverty and unemployment. So in the developing countries, these are the basic problems. Okay, so the following can be used to enhance productivity. What are the things? Education, training, fostering and developing healthy and positive attitudes. So all these are very important for increasing the productivity. Okay, these are very important here. Education, training, fostering and development healthy or positive attitude towards works, motivation to perform better, rewards and incentives, communication, job security, health security, improved work methods, use of technology, all these are very important. Now the productivity enhancement is not just the matter, but here the other thing that we need to take care is the time management, because time is a very, very valuable resource. It's the most valuable resource. Once the time is gone, it is gone forever and ever. So you should be flexible enough to respond to new opportunities, surprises, unexpected things. So time, you cannot be the reason of wasting the time. Chalo, I might do things later. So make use of the time as much as possible. The other is multitasking. Multitasking is regard to essential skills at the workplace in modern times. It's very important. Doing numerous work at the same time. So homemakers, naturally with moms, it is seen. Okay, they organizing everything in the home at the same time and very efficiently. So that multitasking is very, very important. Success in a career is gained or lost by soft skills, ability to handle large and varied workloads. So time management is important, as well as multitasking is vital. It is also very, very important. Now the best time that you can start developing yourself is right now. So how do you do it? First, you will make a list of what to do and prioritize them, which needs to be done first and next and all, and start most important task. Doing difficult things first will help you finish it faster rather than procrastinating and being worried about it. So do not shift. Chalo, it is difficult, so let me shift it later. So do it earlier. Focus on task at hand. Give it your full attention to be effective and efficient. Take short breaks occasionally. and reduce any kind of interruptions, constant interruptions, especially for relatively unimportant matters. It can lose your focus. So all these things are very important for you. So next class we will go ahead and do work and work environment. Thank you.